Of the 2012 Hero Dog Awards, a show celebrating extraordinary acts of heroism performed by amazing dogs. Premiering November 8th at 8/7 Central on Hallmark Channel, the heart of TV. And now, let's take a look at this year's Hero Dog Award recipients.
We know this much about Daniel's story. He was found outside the shelter in Florence, Alabama. He was only given 4 days to find a home. On October 3rd of 2011, I woke up with a strange feeling. That same day was the day that Daniel, his 4 days were up at the shelter, and he was placed into a gas chamber with up to 18 other dogs in that gas chamber with him. The 25 to 30 minutes went by, which the gas was let into the chamber, and when the chamber door was open, all dogs had passed away except for Daniel. He was standing there wagging his tail.
The subject line this morning when I opened up my email caught my attention. It was urgent. Dog survives gas chamber, needs rescue. I'm 11th hour. I'm supposed to save dogs at the 11th hour. This dog was at the 12th hour.
Gabe originally came from a pound in Houston. Gabe was brand new, never did anything with the military, so he didn't even know how to sit. He's trained to work off leash, so every day you're doing obedience with him. And then you're learning how to detect the different odors of explosives and weapons and ammunition.
Well, it's a tremendous team. You can tell that Sergeant Shuck loves Gabe and Gabe loves Sergeant Shuck. The bond between Senior Shuck and Gabe is more like father to son, in my opinion.
Gabe ended up being a rock star at the final evaluation, and my commander called me and said, "Hey, I need you to get on a plane and deploy to Iraq." And I'm like, let's do it. We did a total of 210 missions in the year we were there. We did anything from raids on houses to traffic control points, searching vehicles for car bombs. In the year we were there, Gabe had a total of 26 finds, which was the most of any dog in the theater. Gabe was a trooper. He would keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
He is tremendously skilled at finding explosives. So I appreciate having him out in front of me.
Well, I trained Holly from a puppy. I got her to be my agility and herding and obedience dog. But when I started having seizures, we didn't know what was happening with me.
She could be walking down the street and literally just faint. And that could be life-threatening. If she's on cement, she's going to hit where she lands.
I no longer had the independence that I once had. All my dreams shattered. I mean, I felt like I didn't have a life.
Right before Shannon had a seizure, Holly would change. Her personality would change. She would start to get vocal and she would start to fuss and scratch. And it finally dawned on us that she was warning Shanna ahead of time that she was going to have a seizure.
I don't know when a seizure is going to happen. Holly's able to tell me 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time. She was able to sense that a seizure was coming and was able to communicate that to me.
My grandfather told me the night before that he was going to go hunting like he did every year with his son Philip.
They decided to go deer hunting.
It's nothing unusual for him to go hunting, and especially at Boone County, that's the spot they go every year.
He hunted Kelly Mountain for 17 years. He knew the mountains. He should have never got turned around.
Fine. We searched like 3 different areas. When Soot doesn't find Sid, he gets aggravated and he comes back and he starts his wild bark. You know, like, I don't know why you have me here because he's not up here.
I was stay there again, like his hen. Then I heard the dog bark. I'm glad to see the dog. Then when he come there,
Soot comes back to me, barks, and then I say, "Show mommy, come on, show me." And he turns around and runs back to Leroy.
come down there and then he left and he came back and sat down. Sat there, he wouldn't move.
Jinx came into my life when my husband was selected as one of the first K-9 deputies.
Kyle had applied to be a K-9 handler with our department. He was partnered up with Jinx after they joined the Philadelphia Police Academy, which is where we sent them for their training.
Kyle's bond with Jinx was amazing. I joked a lot of days that, you know, Jinx came first before I did. On June 29th, 2011, my husband and Jinx, as part of a U.S. Marshals Task Force, were serving a warrant.
The suspect had climbed a steep terrain, was lying in wait in a full camouflaged outfit.
Jinx tracked him down by scent. They still couldn't even see him when Jinx found him. Jinx located him and bit him. He did everything he was supposed to do.
If we wouldn't have had Jinx, you know, the guys would have walked into a major ambush.
From the second I held Stella in my arms, I knew Stella was different from any other dog I've ever met in my lifetime. She was like a little angel sent from heaven to make everything right with the family because we were grieving.
Having lost my father and my best friend and my dog within 11 months, I was miserable. I was afraid to love anyone. And Stella would sit on my lap, and Stella would hug me. Stella has definitely brought out my ability to demonstrate affection and love when I thought it was never going to happen again. There was no way that I could not share that unconditional love with everyone else.
She's a phenomenal dog. She's so amazing, so smart, and the residents truly love her.
Everyone at Gilda's Club, including our staff, just love Stella and love to be around her.
I think I was about 45 when I found out that I was going to lose my sight.
She didn't have very much independence. She was relying on people to get around town.
My brothers and my son were really worried about me being alone. They convinced me that maybe getting a dog would be a great thing. Within 6 months, I was up there getting Tabitha.
When we raise leader dog puppies and socialize them, you never know for sure that they're going to be a good guide dog mix. Tabitha, she stays focused on whatever it is. She's not easily distracted. That made her a good guide dog. It made her a good working dog.
They have a special day that they bring the dogs into. It's a really big deal. And I was sitting in a chair waiting for her. She came running in, and the first thing she did was kiss me on the cheek. I knew then she was my dog.
Graduate school for me was very challenging because of the physical problems that I started having. It came to a point that I wasn't able to continue school.
She has Meunier syndrome, which is an inner ear problem. She's been very hard of hearing since she's been a little girl. She has multiple system diseases. It's not just the Meuniers, it's not just the asthma.
I learned about service dogs and how they could be helpful. Tatiana is my hearing dog, so she alerts me to sounds that either I don't hear or have trouble hearing or identifying.
If somebody rings the doorbell, if a microwave buzzer goes off, there's a fire alarm or anything like that.
She alerts me to them, and if I don't know where it's coming from, she takes me to them.
Tatiana has saved her from serious injury.
Somehow she learned to alert me, give me warning to Meunier disease attacks.
In a severe attack, she gets vertigo and can easily fall to the floor and hit her head, causing things like subdural hematomas, which can be life-threatening.
Somehow, Tatiana started alerting me a few seconds prior to an attack. Not sure how she does that, but it's something she learned on her own. She's the most noble, selfless, intelligent, amazing being that I know.